Coming up, Trump's in town. Hear what the president had to say at his rally in Council Bluffs.
And later, help with housing. Hear what UISG is doing to bring students more renting resources.
We give you an update on one Hawkeye that will make a remarkable return to Carver Hawkeye Arena this November.
Iowa City experienced storms last night. Will there be more? I'll let you know in weather.
We've got all that and more coming up on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV.
So don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in today on this Wednesday morning, October 10th. I'm Bo Bowman alongside Kaylin Cluck.
That's right. Making headlines this morning, major flooding throughout eastern Iowa and some areas in Iowa City may be affected.
DITV reporter Jacob Gunther checked in this morning to see what's happening with the river. Jacob, how's it looking out there?
Thanks, guys. I'm out here right alongside the Iowa River where we can see the flooding is already taking a toll on the environment. Taking a look at this tree, you can see it's already starting to topple over into the river oh so gradually. This is only going to get worse as the days go on if the rain continues to be consistent. Now, the Coralville Reservoir is currently sitting at 706 feet, but the spilling point is 712. Now, forecasters suggest there might be a chance for more rain coming in, and if it does go over that cresting point, we may see flooding that was very similar to what happened back in 2008. I'll keep you updated throughout the weeks, but back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Jacob. And while we are experiencing flooding conditions here in eastern Iowa, other areas of the country are prepping for severe weather.
Let's toss it over to Samantha in the weather studio with more on Hurricane Michael.
Thanks. As of early this morning, Michael has intensified to a Category 4 hurricane. It's now expected to make landfall along Florida's northeastern Gulf Coast at some point today. This would be the first time a Category 4 or stronger hurricane has made landfall in Florida. As you can see behind me, it looks like it'll be heading directly for the Panhandle. If these numbers keep up, this could be the strongest storm to hit landfall this year. This storm's intensity caught many by surprise and have some yet to evacuate. Now authorities are urging those still in the area to hunker down. We will follow more about this storm throughout the week, and I'll have your local forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Guys, back to you at the desk.
Last night, President Trump held a rally in Council Bluffs as part of his campaign tour. During the rally, Trump focused on Iowa farmers and applauded them for their hard work. Trump also made a few key promises that support Iowa farmers and people.
And my administration is protecting ethanol, all right? That's what you want to hear. Today, we are unleashing the power of E15 to fuel our country all year long, not 8 months, all year long. We've also achieved another historic victory for Iowa farmers and ranchers by replacing the job-killing NAFTA with an incredible brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA.
Joining Trump on stage was Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds, who Trump praised as a star in the Republican Party. Before Reynolds campaigned for not only Trump, but herself, Trump told the crowd that she has his full endorsement.
I understand the challenges that everyday Iowans have faced because I've faced them myself. And that's why I'm proud that we focused on cutting taxes, expanding and growing jobs and wages and opportunities, addressing Iowa's healthcare needs, and creating strong and safe communities. Iowa is working, the Midwest is working, and we're getting things done. We're recognized as the #1 state in the country, second lowest unemployment, third best managed. Wages are going up, taxes are going down, our budget is balanced, and we're going to keep Iowa moving.
Before speaking to Iowans yesterday, Trump sat alongside UN Ambassador Nikki Haley, who announced that her resignation at the end of the year.
I was governor for 6 years, and we dealt with a hurricane, a 1,000-year flood, a church shooting, a school shooting. There was a lot. And then to come in and do 2 years of Russia and Iran and North Korea, it's been 8 years of intense time, and I'm a believer in term limits. I think you have to be selfless enough to know when you step aside and allow someone else to do the job. So thank you, Mr. President. It's been an honor of a lifetime.
When asked what her plans were for 2020, Haley said she will not be running for president, but instead giving her full endorsement to President Trump.
Unemployment in Iowa is reaching record low levels. Iowa's unemployment rate is now at 2.5%. That is the second lowest rate in the country, behind Hawaii. Before the recession in 2008, that number was at 3.8%. Despite the low unemployment rate, Iowa still has a high number of college graduates leaving the state. But experts say the current numbers are in line with trends seen across most of the country. You know, Bo, it was a nice summer day yesterday, and then the tornado warning kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I wasn't even rained on, and I was outside most of the day. So let's toss it over to Samantha in the weather studio again to see what's up.
Yeah, that's right. Last night brought a tornado warning and some heavy storms, and that will continue this morning as we're expecting to get thunderstorms throughout the morning with a high temperature of 68 degrees and a low of 37 in the evening. As those storms are going to disappear, and we'll only have some clouds later this night. Moving on to the rest of the week, Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 48 and a low of 33. Then the rain comes back on Friday at a 40% chance with high temperatures of 45 degrees and a low of a very cold 31 degrees. Looking at the rest of the weekend, the sun will finally appear on Saturday, reaching a high in the 50s and a temperature reaching their lowest around 38 degrees, as well as a 20% chance of rain. The clouds will continue on Sunday with temperatures only reaching a high in the mid-40s and then dropping down to the low 33. Well, that's all I have for you guys in weather. Back to you at the desk.
Salt Company is finding a new home in Iowa City. The student organization now will host its worship at 439 Highway 1 West in Iowa City. The new building is part of the Veritas Church, the parent group of Salt Company. So the student organization will not have to pay rent for the space. Before construction wrapped up on the new building, Salt Company hosted their weekly worship at the Englert Theater. The Salt Company has seen a large increase in members, causing them to reach capacity at the theater. Salt leaders are working to organize weekly transportation to the new location. Their first meeting at this new location is set for Thursday, October 11th.
Visiting faculty at the UI will now be restricted in the number of classes they can teach. Adjunct faculty in the College of Liberal Arts and Sciences will be limited to 1 class per semester. The UI will also begin to enforce the 3-year limit for visiting professors. The number of non-tenured faculty has been increasing over the past few years. In 2014-15, 47.8% of the UI's faculty were non-tenured. In 2016-17, the number grew to 52.3% of the UI's faculty. These new guidelines are part of the ongoing fight between the UI and non-tenured faculty. For more on the changes, check out Josie Fischel's article in the Daily Iowan.
UI students have expressed concerns over trying to find off-campus housing. UISG is working on a solution to these concerns. DITV reporter Jahisha Thomas has more.
Here at the IMU, the UISG team have been working on a new first edition of the Renter's Guide, which is now live and open for students to use. The guide provides quantitative data on landlords and property management companies for apartments in Iowa City area. Austin Wu and Gustav Stewart, the Deputy and Primary Liaison of the UI student government, are able to give us a little more insight to what's in store for students when they explore the Renter's Guide.
First, it started off with a survey that we distributed to the university students, and basically it's a way to get quantitative information on student experiences with tenants or with landlords, and they can be better informed when they're looking for housing, because a lot of the time it can be kind of hard to know which housing is good, which landlords are maybe not so good.
Thankfully, this elaborate guide is extremely accessible to students.
You can find it on uisg.uiowa.edu. There should be a link on the website right there to download. And then there's another part called it's on an Excel sheet, but it's called the Renter's Guide Scorecard. That shows everything in this really neat table.
So make sure you check out your Renter's Guide on the UISG website. Reporting from the IMU, this is Jahisha Thomas with DITV.
Well, Caitlin, basketball season's just right around the corner.
Yeah, I have not been keeping up with it too closely, but luckily John in the sports studio has, so let's toss it over to him.
Yeah, that's right, guys. Basketball season is coming up, even though football's in full swing. And last year, after Iowa basketball season ended in disappointment, the biggest question mark was whether or not Tyler Cook would leave for the draft, transfer, or return to Carver Hawkeye. DITV sports director Lucy Rodine has more on how his offseason has already impacted this year.
On the very last day to enter the NBA draft, Tyler Cook announced he would be back in the black and gold for his junior year.
I've always been happy here, despite the struggles that we've had the last couple of years. I've been happy and excited to keep trying to push forward, keep trying to help this program change.
And Tyler plans to bring forth the change that Iowa basketball needs through what he learned during his draft process.
Once he came back, he just, had a lot more IQ about the game, and you could see him, wanting to step up more as leader.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Tyler. Obviously working on his game, continuing to evolve that way, but also as a leader.
And when you see Tyler on the court this year, you might notice that something is a little bit different as he changes jersey number from 5 to 25.
Thought about changing my number to 25, but I wanted it to mean something, so I prayed about it, and obviously did some more reading and stuff. And 5 times 5 is 25, and which is another symbol in the Bible for grace multiply. So kind of a symbol of personal growth off the court in terms of my faith, in terms of as a young man, and also in terms of what I expect for myself, for my teammates, and for the men above coming for this year.
So in November, Tyler will make his 2018 season debut in a new number with new leadership skills. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Lucy Rodine for DITV Sports.
Personally, I like the change to 25 from 5. 5 is not a prototypical forward number. 25 definitely is. Plus, I think deep down, Tyler Cook knows 25 is how many hairstyles he'll rock this season. In other news, football will travel to Bloomington, Indiana this weekend to face the Hoosiers for the first time since 2015. Here's what the team had to say about their upcoming cross-division matchup.
We haven't, I've never played against them. We've got, most guys who haven't played against them. I think we've played them since 15. So, yeah, it's a different challenge, but we're studying the tape, we're learning, and we'll be ready to go with our game plan.
Similar in some ways to what we just saw, but the big difference in my mind is the quarterback is a very versatile guy. He's a really good thrower. They've got a good attack. Their offensive coordinator is a veteran coach who really is highly regarded by, I think, everybody in football. And they put pressure on you in a lot of different ways. Good receivers, good running backs.
Several of the players at availability yesterday said that Indiana will be their toughest challenge so far this season, so it should be a good one in Bloomington on Saturday. But be sure to come back tomorrow to hear from Daily Iowan pregame editor Adam Hensley in the newsroom for more on this weekend in Bloomington. Bo and Kaylin, back to you.
Well, Bo, it seems like almost everything has a national holiday nowadays, and today clearly is no different.
No, that's right, Kaylin. And today is National Bring Your Teddy Bear to Work Day, and while I might not have a teddy bear, I did happen to get a hold of our news director, Mackenzie Cooper's stuffed ape named Monkey. Look at that. How cute is he?
I think our show has a new mascot.
I think so, too. And that's all we have for you on this Wednesday morning edition of DITV. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Kaylin Clark.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place.